In October 2018, a unique experience took place in the Douro Valley. Over an 8-day period, athletes from 8 different countries made their home here, enjoying an unforgettable experience as they ran through 3 World Heritage sites. We guided them through emblematic locations such as Porto, Baião, Lamego, Castelo Rodrigo, São João de Pesqueira, Torre de Moncorvo and Vila Nova de Foz Coa. We introduced them to our history, our castles, archaeological museums and wine museums. They had the chance to take part in a grape harvest and wine tasting of the magnificent port wine produced in this region. Aboard the Senhor da Veiga Rebelo boat, they shared stories over lunch while admiring the magnificent terraced slopes drenched in autumn colours. They ran between walls built hundreds of years ago, through spectacular vineyards and across Portugal's only private natural park. They passed by some of the country's most exquisite churches and ran alongside some of Portugal's most impressive rivers. They raced through 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the historic centre of Porto, the terraced vineyards of the Alto Douro wine valley, and the rupestриan engravings in the Val do Coa Archaeological Park, the world's largest outdoor site of Paleolithic rock art. Everything began on October the 13th.
Yes, it's my first trip to Portugal. I am very happy to coming and to see this country, and I waiting nice rice and nice landscape.
Setting off next to Porto's famous Dom Luís I Bridge, the athletes took part in a non-competitive race through some of the city's most emblematic sites. On the following day, everyone assembled in one of the world's most elegant train stations, the São Bento station. They then journeyed to Red for a 25-kilometer race to Mafómedes. Passing through the town of Mesão Frio, the French athlete Olivier Vautrin arrived first, 3 minutes ahead of Morocco's Mohamed Ahaissal, 5-time winner of the Sahara Marathon, the Marathon des Sables. While others approached the finish line, the first arrivals sat around the table to enjoy an appetizing lunch.
Yeah, it's a beautiful scenery here. First time here, and see the river and the vineyards.
Yeah, so when we climb to the top, then we have the holistic view of the Douro Valley and also the river. It's really beautiful, and it's really awesome to climb along the vineyards where all the photo wine are made. Yeah, so it's really very nice.
The athletes then travelled by bus to Resende, where they stayed in the Douro Marina Hotel and Spa overlooking the river. The third day started in the monastery of Carcere. The athletes had 27 kilometers to run, before arriving in Lamego. Braving the cold, the athletes of the starter version had great fun in front of the starting line, next to the chapel of San Cristobal. Mohamed made sure that he never lost sight of Olivier. They finished neck and neck in Lamego. The athletes had to run down the stairway of the sanctuary of Nossa Senhora dos Remédios before reaching the finish line. During the afternoon, the athletes took part in another cultural visit, this time to Lamego Castle and the Porta dos Figos Archaeological Museum. They then caught the train to Pocinho, where they discovered the wonderful accommodation facilities of the Pocinho High Performance Center, designed for world-class athletes. On the fourth day, they visited the historic village of Marialva, before setting forth from Citadel for a 45-kilometer race to the town of Foz Coa. The athletes passed through the magnificent Praia Brava Nature Reserve. And the village of Castelo Melhor. Before reaching Vila Nova de Foz Coa, they had a tough climb to the Belvedere of São Gabriel.
Très chouette, ouais. Sauvage et l'étape du jour l'était un peu plus, donc ça m'a plu encore davantage. Et puis c'est vrai que la visite le matin, le train hier, tout est assez inédit et très sympa à vivre.
The fifth day, which also marked the end of the 5-day version, began in yet another wonderful village, Castelo Rodrigo. The athletes raced through magnificent landscapes before arriving in Barca d'Alva. After taking a refreshing dip, it was time to return to Pocinho on a delightful boat trip.
This event can show us that they are possible to live here and live with quality.
The best thing is like being together with a group and especially with a team that does really everything, so everybody's comfortable and has everything they need, and that really makes the whole experience.
The sixth day began in São João de Pesqueira. After visiting the wine museum, the athletes embarked on another 25-kilometer stage. The landscapes offered constant surprises throughout the race. As they ran through the castle of Numão, they knew they were close to completing yet another challenge. The shortest stage of the 8-day event was the 12-kilometre stage from Torre de Moncorvo to the Pocinho High Performance Centre. The day enabled the athletes to take things more easily and during the afternoon they visited the Quinta do Valmeão vineyard, which gave them the chance to learn how the region's delicious wines are made. All good things, of course, have to come to an end. The final 8th day was a 21-kilometre stage that doubled up as a charity run open to other athletes. The starting line was in the Coa Museum, which the athletes also had the chance to visit, before starting the final stage of this spectacular event. The villagers took a break from their almond harvest as they cheered on the athletes. The runners' euphoric delight as they crossed the finish line was evident for everyone to see. Olivier Vautrin and Vilma Vissas were the male and female winners of the first edition of Foz Coa Douro Trail Adventure.
I like the most to be in the valley, between the olive trees, between the wine vineyards, and we saw old places and we saw new places, and it was really lovely. One time you think you are in the past, and one time you think, oh, it's very modern with the museum, and yeah, it's the variosity what makes this week complete and very, very nice.
É um concelho muito conhecido em termos mundiais, precisamente por ter 2 classificações da Unesco, e portanto este evento serve para catapultar ainda mais o concelho de Foz Coa para a ribalta e portanto para dar a conhecer estas belíssimas paisagens onde este trail se desenvolve ao longo desta região, especialmente aqui do Douro Superior.
The day ended with the prize ceremony and heartfelt farewells amongst the members of what we can already call the great family of the Foz Coa Douro Trail Adventure.
Foz Coa Douro Trail Adventure é muito mais do que uma prova esportiva, uma autêntica aventura, uma aventura que nos leva a todo este vale do Douro, património da humanidade, património quer histórico, quer paisagístico. Todos os atletas presentes levam desta aventura grandes recordações e todo o potencial que nós temos nesta região.
Do you really want to miss out on all of this?
We love it here!
Join us this year from October the 5th to the 11th. Register at www.carlossarnatureevents.com.